Hey guys, I'm kind of late with this. I think I started this series like a year ago, maybe. I just never really got around to it. It was, what are my favorite moves in video games? Or what moves do I think are really interesting gameplay wise, right? And I think the first video was about Mizuguchi's blue DP, right? Which is, I don't know how much of Mizuguchi's blue DP is serendipity or it's like maybe part serendipitous, it's part gameplay design wise, but Mizuguchi's Blue DP and Karna's Revenge is one of the most fascinating and incredible moves ever created in a fighting game, right? It's just amazing how the move actually works in the game, right? So anyway, I guess I was supposed to be doing videos about this, about other moves that I think are really interesting in games. So the next move I'm going to do is, you know what? I talk about Johnny a lot, right? Johnny is not a character that I play, but I think he's very interesting, right? He's not only like an awesome Guilty Gear character, he's an awesome fighting game character too. And even the re-envision of Johnny, you know, in that Xrd, whatever it is awesome too. Even they changed him up and he's still fucking cool, right? But when I think of Johnny, and I think, what is the coolest move of Johnny? And I'll give you a few seconds. Put it in the comment. What do you think my favorite move of Johnny's is that I think, wow, what a cool looking character, or a cool character, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, suck my titties. You want to know what my favorite move of Johnny is? It's actually his duck hard slash, right? Johnny's duck hard slash to me is just such a quintessential, interesting, like Guilty Gear move. You know, if you even think about it, even like from the most scrubby perspective, you can think about a fighting game, maybe. You know, from the most basic level, like a light attack is fast, a hard attack is slower. And then you got a character like Johnny, and his duck hard slash is his fastest attack, right? I just think the move is so incredibly interesting how, you know, even if I, bam, he hit me and I can still punish him. I think you can actually get a counter hit, even on hit, right? And if I duck, boom, boom, it's like, and you like look at that at face value, you're like, what the fuck? I can be punished and it's a legitimate counter hit after he hits me. But then you kind of like think about the whole game and you think about it on like another level. Like let's say Johnny is quotation marks, right? Maybe he's a little bit more weaker defensively, right? He doesn't have a DP, you know, whatever it might be, right? And you're like, oh, okay, so this is part of the game. And then you think, well, oh, and then it staggers you. And then you're like, wait a second. So, oh, wait, I should be mashing this, right? Boom. Sorry, I got to record the guy. Boom. Mash on dust. Boom. And then you're like, wait a second. So the dust even, it doesn't make you safe, but it kind of makes you a little bit safer that you don't get the same thing. And then if it were to hit me, I got to get hit back correctly, right? Oh, because it's like the whole move is just fast and like, again, boom. And that's somehow safer than just, you know, quotation marks, safer than just letting the move ride, right? It just is such a simple move that is interesting. It's so Guilty Gear to me. Like, I feel like I'm gushing about Guilty Gear. And I've said Guilty Gear many times. Guilty Gear is not my favorite fighting game of all time. I don't have a favorite fighting game of all time. But Guilty Gear is a game that has a lot of goodwill in it. Some of the stuff in Guilty Gear is serendipitously cool as well. You know, not everything in Guilty Gear is pre-planned, but just something so simple like that, Johnny, you're like, wow, what a fascinating character. You think about it on a basic level, oh, it's his duck hard slash. You would think, oh, you'd think a fast normal would be your legs, but no, it's Johnny's duck hard slash. And then you can see the clear-cut weaknesses and strengths of it. You can see it's a pre-planned move. It's an example of a move that is pre-planned that is actually okay, right? You know, of course, there's some thought process put into every game, or at least you would hope so. But it's just a move that works, right? It's such a Guilty Gear move. It's different, but there's still goodwill in it, and it still works. It's not different just for the sake of being different. There's thought process in it, and you know, time out. That's my chicken. I just heard my chicken. Time out. Give me 5 seconds. Don't go away. We just do this on the fly, dude. That's my chicken releasing some air. Hopefully that's not too loud on this, but yeah, so that's actually the most fascinating move about Johnny to me. Or the most interesting from a gameplay perspective, right? I know that might seem simple. You might have thought it was going to be something weird, but no, when I think about everything, that's the most interesting move of Johnny's to me. And I think it's an incredible move in a sense, even in just in a fighting game in general. I think it's just interesting, right? Of course, he has other interesting things too, but... And then just to touch upon this last video I did about Soul. Let me figure out where the fuck I'm doing here. Suck my titties. Because I think there was some confusion here. People are like, oh, you hate... So you hit a Mugen move is a move that just always lets you combo off of it? No, a Mugen move is a move that is just the same animation... You know what I mean? That feels like its only thought process is just to give you combos. Again, I've said so many fucking times it's incredible and it's insulting that people think of me as a combo guy. You know, let me suck my dick here for a second. I would suck my dick, but that's kind of weird. I prefer just to touch it, but sometimes give it a few strokes. I've never sucked my dick. I'm sure that's the next thing. Clayton hacked his records and he sucked his own dick before. I have never sucked my own dick, okay? Don't even... Anyway, but to jack myself off here, I actually feel it's insulting when people think I'm a combo guy. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I've actually won, okay? Don't even compare me to other combo guys because it's a fucking joke, honestly, I think. But whatever the case, a Mugen move, when I was talking about this new XR, whatever the fuck it's called, Revelator Zero, I think someone posted, a lot of these moves, they don't seem well thought out to me. They just seem there just like, oh, you can do a new combo. I don't give a fuck if you can do a new combo. You know, I understand having some dumb reach moves, some easy reach, you have meters, but there's different shit you can do. And when I was thinking of Soul, I was like, I accept this move, even though it is kind of a Mugen move. It's just the same animation. It's fucking ugly as fuck. But I accept it from the one simple fact that there's a feel to the move. And it's the only reason that I accept it, that this move is not total fucking garbage and they should be ashamed. You know, there's this idea if you're so like boom, boom, is like blah, 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 blah. You know, you're rushing down, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know, whiff, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But in this game, it's like, oh, well, now he can, you know, or what should I say? Like when I was talking about the standing versus ducking too, you know, this kind of stuff, you know, that's going to hit. But if he was standing, you wouldn't be able to combo into that as much, right? And that's an aspect of Soul that I liked, that there was such a potential huge difference from hit confirming stuff on the guy standing and ducking. And I think it kind of like made him interesting when you think about the game as you progress and you get better as the character, right? But when they added this move, it's like, oh, well, now whenever I hit this, oh, it always hits. And it kind of took some of the thought process out, I think, because it feels like a dumb reach. The reason I accept it, though, because even though it feels like a dumb reach and maybe there's not a lot of thought process into it, sometimes it feels like, I accept the thought process of it if you think about video games as a feel. If you think about Soul, he's being rambunctious, whatever. Oh, he's randomly going to DP. Oh, next time he blocked, I'm going to throw. Oh, blah, blah, blah. What's he doing? He's rambunctious. He's a rambunctious little boy. Right? But when you're thinking about a character being wild and crazy and doing whatever the fuck, when you think about that hits you, you got to start mashing. You, the player, the opponent versus that, you start mashing. And it adds to the kind of the hectic feel of the character specifically. That's the only reason I accept that. But other stuff like this is just a dumb reach. Yeah, I know there's a fucking point to it. I know it's like, oh, well, I timed my combo wrong. I'm not going to be able to hit this. And it's like, yeah, but there's so much other shit you could have done with this move. That's the point. Instead of just making it a dumb reach Mugen move, you could have done something cool with it. It didn't have to be just a dumb reach. When I think of Mugen moves, I think of moves that are just put in there as dumb reaches to get a cheap pop. Moves without a lot of thought, right? And this game is a game that has a lot of cool EX moves, right? But there are also a lot of just kind of cheap pop, easy reach Mugen kind of moves. They just feel like, oh, it's just an easy reach. Which I understand from a certain perspective, yes, having an easy reach can be useful, but does it actually kind of change your perspective on what is possible in a fighting game? Does that make sense? Think about the game on a deeper level. But anyway, so really the video was about Johnny, but fuck my titties. Anyway, I'm going to go eat my fucking chicken.